News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Authorities need your help in finding a missing U of M student who was last seen near Lolo. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, September the 9th, 2014. It's going to be a fairly nice day today. A little cooler, though. Some wind, maybe a little bit of rain later on. Right now, it's mostly clear. We've got 47 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works. They're always dedicated to your chiropractic solutions. Missoula County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in locating a missing man last seen in Lolo. Public Information Officer Paige Pavlone says 21-year-old University of Montana student August Kramer of Missoula was last seen Sunday.
He was going fishing yesterday, and we believe that he's probably somewhere in the Lolo area, Highway 12 corridor, 93 South. He went to the Missoulian Fly Shop, bought some items, then went to McDonald's in Lolo, and then hasn't been heard from since.
Pavlone says Kramer's friends and family know he's missing and are asking for help in finding him.
We haven't checked in with his family or his roommate. He had some appointments that he was supposed to make, and he has not checked in at all. So we're asking the public to keep an eye out for his vehicle or for him.
You can see a photo of Kramer and the vehicle, which is a Toyota Land Cruiser, on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Pavlone's asking anyone in the Lolo and Highway 93 corridor area who may know of Kramer's whereabouts to contact Detective Newell, the County Sheriff's Office, 258-4810. An unidentified worker was injured early yesterday morning by a small chemical explosion at the former Smurfit-Stone facility in Frenchtown. Frenchtown Fire Department Public Information Officer Mel Holtz has more.
So we got called at 8:15 this morning for an explosion out at the former Smurfit-Stone site. Upon our arrival, we had found that we had one patient who was burned, who was rapidly extricated and taken to the hospital.
Holtz describes the conditions at the site of the explosion and fire.
There was some appears to be chemical that created a dust, and while he was demolitioning part of the building down, that caused the explosion, that dust it did. And the hazardous material team was also called out just to verify the chemical that we were dealing with. Chemical turned out to be cornstarch, so it was non-toxic.
Holtz says this was part of the regular process of demolition as workers continue to clean up the site currently owned by M2 Green Redevelopment. The man's condition is unknown, although we do know he was burned. A 40-year-old Great Falls man has pleaded not guilty to deliberate homicide in the death of a Cascade County Sheriff's deputy who was struck by a vehicle during a law enforcement pursuit. The clerk of court in Choteau County says Adam Sanchez Jr. also pleaded not guilty to felony assault with a weapon, assault on a peace officer, and 2 counts of criminal endangerment. Sanchez was in court in Fort Benton while District Judge Dirk Sandifer of Great Falls appeared via video. Sanchez is jailed in Fort Benton in lieu of $5 million bail. Sanchez is charged with killing 33-year-old Deputy Joe Dunn, who grew up here in Missoula, during an August 14th chase, trying to hit another officer with his car, endangering the occupants of 2 other vehicles during the case, and assaulting another officer during his arrest. A judge has set bail at $350,000 for a 22-year-old woman suspected of stabbing another woman to death at a bar on the south side of Billings. The Billings Gazette reports Jamie Jo Brokenrope made her first court appearance yesterday on a deliberate homicide charge. She's accused of stabbing 29-year-old Ruth Martinez 5 times outside Lee's Saloon during an argument early Friday morning. Martinez died a short time later from a stab wound to the neck. Investigators say Brokenrope fled the scene but turned herself in on Friday afternoon. Montana veterans are invited to come and speak with State Veterans Administration officials about how the system's working. 2 back-to-back town halls will take place tomorrow at Fort Harrison. They start at 4:30 p.m. Montana VA Public Information Officer Randy Martin says the meetings are a feature of the new orders issued by VA Secretary Robert McDonald.
This is the first one of these town halls we've held in a while. It is the first one that we've held following our Secretary of the VA's directive that all of our medical centers would have town halls by the end of September. We plan to hold other town halls, but the dates have not yet been set.
Those that cannot make it to the proceedings have other ways of letting their voice be heard. Emailed questions can be sent to Montana Town Hall Questions at va.gov. There's also an opportunity for vets to listen in live.
Veterans have the opportunity to dial in and listen to the town hall by calling the phone number 800-767-1750, and when prompted, key in 721-827. There's limited phone lines.
There are about 200 phone lines available, which won't be nearly enough if all the over 100,000 veterans that live in Montana attempt to call in. State officials say a project to clean up pollution from an abandoned gold mine just east of Yellowstone Park is wrapping up a year ahead of schedule. Governor Steve Bullock was traveling to Cook City to tour the site with the team involved in the $24 million project. The McLaren mine processed gold and copper ore from 1934 to 1953. Since then, waste and tailings contaminated with heavy metals have flowed from the 30-acre site into Soda Butte Creek and through Yellowstone National Park. Ravalli County Republicans filed a lawsuit yesterday challenging the state's open primary system. Attorney Matthew Monforden explains why his clients are pursuing that lawsuit.
We filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State in order to stop Democrats from infiltrating Republican primaries. There were several blatant examples where Democrats told the media quite openly that that's what they were doing, was encouraging their members to vote in Republican primaries and vote for the liberal candidate.
Monforden says the current primary system in Montana damages a First Amendment right.
This issue involves the First Amendment right of political parties to select their own leaders. That's why we're going the legal route, is because this involves a constitutional right the Democrats are violating in election cycle after election cycle.
When asked if a particular race helped to inspire this lawsuit, Monforden said there were many instances of crossover abuse, but that Scott Boulanger's 39-vote loss to primary challenger Pat Connell was an obvious example. Kurt Apsey, Senior Associate Athletic Director at Boise State, has been named the Athletic Director at Carroll College in Helena. Carroll President Tom Evans announced Friday that Apsey would begin his duties at Carroll October 6th. Apsey's been at Boise State for the past 16 years and has served as Senior Associate Athletic Director for 9 years. At Boise State, Apsey led campaigns that raised $72 million over 7 years for improvements to athletic facilities, cultivated $11 million in corporate sponsorships that allowed the installation of new scoreboards and instant replay video boards at the football and basketball facilities, and secured the naming rights for Taco Bell Arena. Our News Talk time now is 6:10.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Partly cloudy skies today with our high temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 60s. There is a chance of a late day shower. Overnight tonight, lows will dip back into the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13, your first alert station.